Hi, I'm Kim,
And I'm Torra.
and this is our podcast, Kicking It with Kimm and Torra. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have two guests, and we'll introduce them as they come online. Oh, wow.
Hi.
Hi, Kidist.
It works.
Well, I was trying to log in from my computer, but I was having a hard time. So I'm back on my phone, but I'm in the house at
It looks
least.
good though.
Yeah,
It's good.
it looks perfectly fine. Kidist, this is Torra, my co-host. Torra,
Hello.
this is Kidist. Meet
Hi,
each other.
Hi,
Kidist.
Tora.
Hello. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. If at any point you need us to just stop, you let me know. Okay?
Yeah, I should be good. It's been a trying couple of days, but I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
If I thought I couldn't do it, I would have called you and told you no, I can't do it.
Okay. So we're going to just dive right in. I'll set the timer. And our first question for you, Kiddist, I understand that you lost a lot of weight previously and that you're now on that journey again. So we wanted to know how much you lost before, how you did it, and what you're planning to do this time.
The last time I lost weight, I lost about 80 pounds. And how I did it, actually, I was with a wellness company that I'm not going to even bother to mention, but I was with this wellness company and I used a lot of their products, and it really motivated me to do keto. I was doing keto, OMAD. I was kind of mixing the different types of eating styles. So I would do OMAD, I would do keto, and then I would do dry fast.
Okay. 80
Mhm.
pounds is a lot. Congratulations.
Yeah, plus
That is
exercise. Yeah, it felt good. And then I made sure I had a very active, active life. I would park a little extra to take those little extra steps. I would walk to the subway when I was on my way to work. I would get off a subway stop before me and then walk that extra, those extra steps. So I did a lot of things pre-COVID to help me with those weight loss. And living in the city, you tend to be more active.
And more of a walker because there's
More of a
parking
walker.
is such a nightmare that you could more easily walk somewhere.
Exactly. And so your whole lifestyle is so different when you're in the city. Because I found that, when you get up earlier, you have all that time because you already know what time you have to leave to catch your train, your bus, your Uber, whatever it is. So I found I did a lot more like exercises like jump roping and walking around the park and bike riding because I didn't really spend a whole lot of time traveling.
As much as you do from the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I know, just to divert for a moment, I know, Tora, you're interested in keto. Did you have any questions about keto?
Funny because she said she started with a wellness center. And when I started with keto, I started with a wellness center also, and I used all their products too. And I dropped the weight I wanted to drop. And of course I gained it all back. But I gained it back because I was like so happy that I had lost all the weight and everything. And I was like, okay, now that I know what I can always go to, which is wrong to do, I was like, I'm just gonna do what I want. But I'm the next time around, which is now, I'm gonna leave it off. But it was always my go-to thing because it fell off really fast. I still was exercising and everything, but when you did your keto, did you only use their products? Because that's what I did. I only used their products and I ate a salad at night.
No, the company that I was with, the goal was not to keep you on products. The goal was to was really maintenance. We had only like really one weight loss product.
Oh.
And it was a what they called a thermogenic product which helped speed up your metabolism.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you used
I
it.
had that.
Yeah, you used it in conjunction with exercise.
Okay.
So that way you got more bang for your bucks. But a lot of our products were more like maintenance. Like we had a green product, so that way if you didn't get your 8 servings of fruits and vegetables,
Yeah,
I would put
we
it
had
in my
that too.
in my smoothies, and you know, and then while doing keto, we really focus on changing the lifestyle, changing the habit. And for me, keto was a little different because I'm not a meat eater.
Oh.
So I did vegan keto. So that's kind of a
Work.
it's, you still have to make sure you get your healthy fats in, but it's just it's what fast you're getting in. So
What
like
fat?
I'm not
Avocados,
like
stuff like that.
avocados, coconut,
Mhm.
almonds, those types of like
Wow.
healthier fat. So you know, I would create dishes where, like, if I did a pie, I would make my own pie crust, you know, with you know, with the nuts. You can use a dehydrator, and like when I did my smoothies, I would put like a scoop of you know, like a slice of avocado in it. You know, when I would saute my vegetables, I would like do this hack where I would take my ice cube and cut up my herbs, and then do olive oil and avocados, so they'll be pre-measured. So when I would saute some asparagus or something, I would throw a dab of that butter in with it that I made for cooking.
Wow.
So that's how I got my healthier fats in.
And you did
That's
that 80 pounds on the keto and the other diet. I've never
Oh,
heard of that.
OMAD. OMAD is
1 meal a day.
1 meal a day. And then I also do intermittent fasting. So when I did dry fast, because in Islam we don't really do wet fast, we do dry fast. So that's something that was just something I do anyway.
Dry fast.
A
No
dry
water.
fast is when you nothing parts your lips, no water, no food, no nothing.
Now, Kidist, remember when I do intermittent fasting all the time, like mostly 5 days a week. But remember when I fasted in solidarity with you guys for Ramadan and I did the dry fast?
Yes.
The last couple weeks, I've been finding myself doing a dry fast, not intentionally. I start working and thinking I'm gonna go get a tea because I normally drink green tea and water all day. And I'll be thinking I'm gonna go get a tea. And I look up, it's like 4 hours, whatever. And it occurred to me, girl, you are dry fasting voluntarily.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I've been doing the same thing. And I've been doing it because I've gone back to work and I don't want to go to the bathroom all day. So I just don't drink and I don't eat. So I just wait till I get home, and then I'm too tired. So then I wake up in the morning and try to eat something before I go, and I start that cycle all over again.
But the thing that's important with dry fasting is when you break your fast, you still have to make sure you get your water in, hydrate. So you make sure you break it.
Even with water, because I feel my stomach starting to get like, you know, a little sick. Almost like, you know, I want to.
Not eating anything or from drinking too much?
From not
and
drinking.
that's what I wanted to say to you too. One mistake that I found that people make is to not eat enough. In order to lose weight, there is a certain amount that you have to eat so that your body doesn't just hold on to everything that it has going.
Someone on my job, they told me that my body is storing what I'm.
Yeah,
it stores it.
Yeah, you have to eat some. But I did keto back when I used to eat meat with the keto strips. I've also done a really weird diet called the Kickin diet, which is a French doctor, and it's like keto, but it's straight protein. Like keto is a little more forgiving. You can have those 50 calories of carbs or what. That thing is straight protein. I lost weight on all of it. Now I don't feel like it's that healthy, but I do think that it's okay short term to drop pounds and then you go on to something healthier to maintain. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get to your desired weight, may I ask?
Oh, the first time, if I can remember, if I can recall, not quite a year.
Oh, okay.
80 pounds.
Under a year. And then I just
Congratulations.
I was more into maintaining my weight.
That was awesome, a year, because it flies by. But may I ask your weight when you started your goal, your age when you started your goal, and your weight?
My girl, how old was I? I was in my 40s, maybe because that's when I started noticing I was getting like weight gain, and I was like, I didn't understand it, not realizing I was going through menopause. I want to
And
say maybe,
hormonal shifts. And even if it's not even menopause, your hormones start changing. Your
Amen.
body starts hanging on there. You're like, what? This is
yeah,
lit.
I think I was like in my
Girl.
early 40s of when I did that weight. I'm trying to remember. I think I was in my early 40s.
Early 40s. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Kidist, your intent is to lose a significant amount of weight again, correct?
Yeah, I have a lot to lose this time.
What?
Lifestyle change, and I packed in, and the impact of the pandemic, and just the stressors. I gained, I suffered with depression and anxiety, so that kicked in with all these things that had happened, and I didn't even realize I had packed on the weight. I lost all my weight and some. So I'm at the
Yeah, you
heaviest that I ever been.
regained, you said lost. You
I
regained.
I regained the weight that I lost and
During the
some.
pandemic, right?
No, prior to the pandemic.
Oh, prior to and so the pandemic didn't make it any better then.
It added to it, yes.
Yeah, it was just something about junk food during that depression, anxiety that just tasted so much better.
Well, it's so interesting for me. The issue is not really so much junk food, because I really don't do a lot of junk food. It was lack of movement. With
Okay.
like, I went from a super active lifestyle to pretty much a sedentary lifestyle. I went from walking everywhere to driving everywhere. I went from you know, only working out 8 hours, maybe sitting for 8 hours, to sitting for 20 plus hours a day, because I ended up having to get a part-time job driving. So it's sedentary upon sedentary work environment, and then the exercise and the movement decrease. So it was just a complete change of lifestyle. I was eating more often because I wasn't. It was weird. It was like, I think I was eating out of boredom. So
Depression will bring the eating too.
yeah, it was just weird. So it was like I was eating pretty healthy, but I was eating a lot and not burning off the energy.
Sandwich person. I was literally buying 2 or 3 chicken sandwiches.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was doing bad. I was like, yeah, I was one of those people.
Well, that happened to me being once I took on this part job of driving. What I found was I was on the street so much. That's when I started eating more like sandwich types food. Like I would get like little sandwiches and rolls, bread, things that I wouldn't normally
No,
eat.
me neither. I wouldn't.
So the whole lifestyle and the habit changed, and I didn't even really catch on what was happening. I didn't even realize I was depressed until I was in the thick of it. In the thick of it. In the thick of it.
You know you're in a funk. You just can't get out of it, and don't even know what's bringing it on. You're like, what is
right?
But then you realize, like you said, between menopause and hormones, you got to give yourself credit to be like, okay, at least I know something's going on. This is not normal for me. And that's the only thing I've been piggybacking on, is just saying, I know it's not normal, so I got to figure something out here.
And I have a problem also. I'm one of those people who really can't tell her size.
Oh,
I
get
I
it.
realize that now. Like, I really cannot tell when I'm getting bigger or smaller. Like, to me, I always look the same. When I'm smaller, I look the same as when I'm bigger. But my clothes let me know.
Yeah.
Like, girl, no, you lost a lot of weight, or no, you do a little big over here. So I'm aware that I'm bigger, but sometimes when I look in the mirror, I just don't see it.
I get it.
So what's your game plan now? Are you planning to do the same kinds of things? I know you're not with that company anymore, but a mixture of
I'm not with that company, and I did not realize how reliant I was on my company, because I was doing their their fast, and I was doing their detoxes and all. I used all their products because I love their products. They're green. And so with my change of living situation and my work schedule, it's been a challenge. We're trying to figure out the best options to work through my weight loss and detox. But one of the things that what was happening that I had to address first was I was dealing with excessive swelling. I would sit and then my legs and my feet would swell like this. So the first thing that I was focused on was making sure that I corrected my eating habits so that I'm not eating these food because I literally eat out every day.
The
And
sodium.
even if
sodium.
I run to the grocery store, if I'm running to the grocery store, I'm getting things that is quick to easy to put together because I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a kitchen right now.
So is prepackaged food like microwavable toaster oven?
I don't do microwave.
Okay.
I don't do microwave, but like, okay, I got something from the store now. So like what I have now, like I have some seaweed.
Okay. Okay.
And I have some cherries.
Okay.
So I made a conscious effort is like if I want that sweet and like a chewy, I get something that's more healthier. Where before when I was out, I might grab like a little bag of chips. Between the salt content, the sugar content, because potatoes turn into sugar.
Oh yeah.
That was not helping me. So I made a concerted effort to make sure that I work on my swelling. So now I can sit for 16 hours and I notice my legs don't swell anymore because what I'm consuming, I make sure I do a detox smoothie daily. So that was my first focus was getting myself on a constant schedule in regards to how I eat, tracking, monitoring what I eat, and looking at label content, because a lot of us don't look at label content and we don't realize we're eating something that's looking like one serving that's actually 3 servings.
I do. I look at label content.
I do too. I was just gonna say because my kids were allergic to everything, so I'm programmed now. I've got over 32 years of reading the back of labels just to make sure it doesn't have anything they're allergic to. And I'm a mastermind. To me, I know like the sugar content, added sugars, and that's why I found out real quick. I just want to say this. Rice. Everybody had always for years just talked bad about rice. And then when I found out that it's not certain rice, it's not as bad.
The brand on it is fine. It's fine,
right?
Rice, yeah.
I just found, but had I not, just gave it a try, I'm just gonna read. Jasmine rice has been great. I didn't gain 1 pound just in putting that in my diet, but the potatoes had to go. I was definitely.
I eat potatoes practically every day.
Really?
But that's because I'm plant-based, and so I can do that. I literally eat potato. I love potatoes. I eat white, I eat sweet. Literally, my kids will tell you I eat that every day, but I read labels now to avoid things that I don't think are healthy. When my kids were young, I remember I told you this story that I always read labels and I taught them when they had a snack to eat 1 serving. So remember I was saying my son was over somebody's house and they offered him cookies and he was like, the little boy took some and the mother said to me, Jordan said, that's not a serving, that's more than a serving.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Other people don't do that kind of crazy stuff that I do, but
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, because the thing which has been a challenge for me is I'm come from a background where I never ate out. Literally, I never ate out. If I talk to my kids, like they didn't even know what McDonald's was really until they got into middle school because I never took them to those type of places. And I really didn't allow and a lot of my circle, majority of my circle, they ate like we did. So when we would cook at home all the time. When we were going out to eat, we were going over a friend's house to eat. So for me, eating out now is I'm really learning about it because I just didn't. I made all my own snacks. I dehydrated. So now doing all this eating out every day is real foreign to me because I just didn't do it. I'm not gonna say I'm not enjoying it a little bit because I have become a real foodie.
You are a foodie. I told her that. I said, because she
I've
wanted
become
to know
a real foodie because I'm
what
like,
you
oh, this is
what
what
you
I've been
ate.
missing all these years. I'm like, oh.
She
But
wanted to
what
know
it did
what
was,
you ate to get the food poisoning. And I said, Kidist is everywhere eating, so it could be anything.
So I was gonna go where you went to get the food poisoning so I can get it too. Cause I just want to go to this food poison diet that you're about to be on. Cause like I said, the last time I had it was, the weight came off to the point where so my skin shrunk up. So it was perfect for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my skin and everything got ate up. Everything it was just perfect. And I was in.
Well, I purged pretty quickly.
Oh.
I purge very quickly. When my body does it, I go into instant. Like I did my immunity, like I did a ginger and turmeric earlier, and just so that I can rebuild my lining in my stomach. And I just try to purge real quick. I've been drinking my vitamin C in my water all day so that I need to clean it out so I can feel like the last of it is like coming out. And that's why I got the cherries so I can do another clean out. So, and then I got the pomegranate. I have a pomegranate drink as well. But like right now it's like the eating out is such a challenge. And one of my challenges that I'm working on because of the way I move, like I said, if I had a little kitchenette or kitchen area, it'd be a little different. But one of the things that I'm challenging myself is to learn how to find ways of eating out where I can really monitor what's going in me, because what happens is like when you go to these places, the sauces and all this stuff has so much salt in it. So one of the things I have to do is when I order food out, I have to tell them, don't put the sauce on it, put it on the side. And I know a lot of these chefs, they get upset about that because it'll mess up their recipe, but I have to look at my health in the long run because I'm trusting my nutrition to other people. So I need to take it one step closer. So anything that has a sauce on it, don't put it on there. If it has a bread on it, I said don't put the bread on. I'm working on finding ways of keeping my salt content down and keeping it as healthy as possible, which has been a challenge.
So is it working so far? Are you starting to see
has
progress?
helped a lot. It has helped a lot because, like I said, I'm not swelling anymore. I'm noticing my skin is not breaking out like it was before. I'm sleeping better. And that salt it does a lot of it's the worst thing, because what it does, it brings your pressure up.
Oh my
God. And it causes so many other areas. It'll affect you with your sleep. It'll affect you, just having your legs swell up and you have to keep them elevated all day, all night is a lot. When you're sitting and trying to work, you got to elevate your legs. That's too much. So I'm looking at my legs and I'm just like noticing like I don't suffer anymore with the swelling. Well, so that was my first tick that
is beautiful.
Like, I got to get control of that.
Let me say this. I am always the party pooper timekeeper, and we are like halfway into your second segment. We have about 7 minutes left. And something that I really wanted to talk to you about is how you got on the repatriation journey and how it's going, because that's such a phenomenal thing that I just can't let you leave here without mentioning it.
Absolutely.
Oh man, maybe this is why I'm so focused on my weight loss, because one of the things is when I go to Africa, I'm not going to Africa with all this weight on me, because I want to enjoy it. Because if you're not nice to yourself, Africa's not nice to you. My first thoughts of repatriation really began like 20 years ago. Yeah, a little over about 22 years ago, I was considering repatriating to Ethiopia. And I was making plans to go to Ethiopia, but then life kind of got in the way. You know, we had the stock market crash, and because we had so many things that happened. Because I went over to Ethiopia back in, I think that was like maybe 14 years ago, around 2008. And I stayed there for like a month just to see, you know, what I can do there, if it's a good fit for me. And I just loved it. I really loved it. I enjoyed it. But I was married at that time. So things didn't quite work out with my husband and I. So when I came back, I had to come back to the drawing boards, and it kind of, life got in the way because now I'm here with the kids going to the divorce, you know, just a whole lot. So fast forward, you know, repatriation never left my mind. I always talk to my kids about moving to Africa, but I got caught up in the matrix. I really did. I got caught up in the matrix here. So when I was about to hit I became an empty nester in 2018. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do for me. You know, I was like, oh, okay. You know, and that was foreign to me. And so I was like, I'm about to hit a milestone. I was like, I'm not going to spend a milestone in this place where I don't even want to be. I want to do something that I love, and I want to go someplace that I want to be. So that's when I started looking up, I started planning my trip back to Africa. This time I said I was going to hit West Africa. And unbeknownst to me, the brother that I was going to Africa with, he is the brother who created the concept of Back to Africa in Ghana. So I had no idea. So I met him here, and I was talking to him, and I was like, his name was Diallo. And I was telling him that I was ready to go to Africa. I wanted to go for my Earth Day celebration. And he had a group. He said, well, I got a group, come meet, da, da, da. And I was like, okay, fine. So I really didn't pick up on like all the hoopla, because he had brought like
Are you talking about year of return hoopla?
The year of return, yeah.
Okay.
So first of all, I didn't know he was the one that created the year of return. He was working with the Ghana, travel and tourism and all those people. So I was going to that, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna go. And that's when I found out about Gina and African ancestry, because she was all part of it. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my ancestry and get it read in Ghana. And that was just cool. So boom, fast forward, I paid for the trip. We went to Ghana, and I didn't want to go like I did before, because the last time I went to Africa, it was more like a family trip. I paid for housing. You know, I was playing mom. I was still homeschooling my kids, so I was still doing like regular things that I would do here, because my intent initially when I went was to move there. So I still had to live life. So I was doing homeschooling, cooking, being a wife, all those good things. So my experience the first time was so completely different than my experience this time. Wow. Because this time when I went to Africa, I went as a single woman, no mommy, and everything was being taken care of for me. I didn't have to plan everything. Everything was planned. I could just come, show up, and look pretty and enjoy. And I had the best time in my life. And it made me remember, like, wait a minute, girl, you were supposed to be living over here,
So are you planning to repatriate to Ghana, or is that still on the drawing table, or what are your thoughts?
Well, it's still on the table. I have not committed to any one country. Okay. But right now, with everything that I've been researching and my connections that I've made, I'm going to the Gambia in a couple of months. I'll be there in November.
So we just had somebody who's in the Gambia on for the first half of the show.
That's so amazing.
So yeah, we all kind of have this Gambia thing going.
And she lost 80 pounds also. That's why I was like,
oh, that was such a, I did notice that when Kidist said that. She did too. Yep. And so how is your goal of repatriation coming along? Do you feel like it's progressing well?
Well, right now, it really is. Right now, I'm in the. I have a whole thought process. Right now, I'm doing like a purge in my home. I'm downsizing. That's one of the reasons why I don't have a kitchen, because I downsized into a smaller space. Because when I moved here, I said, I want to be able to pack up my house and move it if I wanted to.
Mhm.
So right now I'm in the purge. I'm organizing my life to see what I want to get rid of, sell, and what have you. I said when I go over to the Gambia, I can kind of check things out, see if it meshes with me. And
Mhm.
then if it does mesh with me, and I also take a chance to look at some business opportunities that may be there, look at housing, check out how the licensing work, just how the lay of the land is. And then when I come back, then I can fast forward, because when I was in Ghana, my initial goal was to repatriate to Ghana. And I said in 2019, I was going to give myself a 5-year plan, not knowing about COVID was going to happen, but I said, I'm going to give myself a 5-year plan. So I'm going to still stick within that
Yeah, you
5 year.
still have time. There's still
Yeah,
time.
I'm still going to stick in that 5-year window, but it's kind of switched. My directions have switched from Ghana to the Gambia. But Ghana's still on the table because Ghana's lit.
Yeah, and I hear that Ghana is really a good fit for in some ways for African Americans, because there's more similarity with how we do things as opposed, I visited the Gambia, but I don't think that I'm not so sure that I would repatriate there. But who knows? I mean, who knows? Who
Well,
knows?
for me, I'm looking at like wherever I go now, like when I repatriate, I'm looking more on the aspect that I just want to find myself a home base that I can call home and come back to and recoup. But I really want to be able to expand and travel across Africa.
Yeah,
And I
that
would
was
like
good.
to go from country, maybe not all 50, but even if it's 2 countries or 3 countries, I would like to go to another country and start something there and be able to go back and forth. I would like to travel while I'm there. I would like to see if I can have more of a global business on the continent.
If I did go there, I certainly would travel too, even if it were not to start businesses, but I travel here. So why would I go there and don't travel there?
Travel, of course,
You
Want to
sound like
I
travel.
you have
travel
so
all over. I
similar.
travel all around here.
Say
Both
it
of
again,
us
Tori.
have a similar past with moving in around Africa, like starting businesses and giving back. But I have one quick thing I wanted to ask you, and the only thing was, you said you were starting your weight loss journey to help you with whatever moves you're going to make. But what I've heard from African men was they don't want skinny American women. So
Well, I'm not interested in them. That's the thing. I'm not interested.
That's a
I'm more
whole nother
concerned about.
story.
I'm concerned about my health, and I
Mhm.
know like diabetes, high blood pressure, all those cancer, all that runs in my family, and all that comes from mucus and your nutrition.
And your
absolutely.
So
weight, and your weight
and
at
the
the
weight,
bottom, at the end of the
and the
day,
thing
your weight.
about African men, what a lot of people don't, in Africa, weight kind of is equivalent to like
Well,
wealth.
Wealth. But let me
And
say this, ladies.
I'm not wealthy, so I'm not going to
When
even
I
give them that facade.
when I just was in the Gambia, it might be my facial structure or something. Those men are crazy about me. So you get to where you feel good about yourself, and then the people who need to be in your life will come into it. And those ones looking for somebody all big, honey, miss me with it, because I'm not here for it. But our
Yeah,
time is way up.
like there's a gentleman right now who is like there's a couple of them, they like they get right, they like
Now the real tea comes out.
there's a couple of them who are like that are on me, and I always tell them, I say, I'm not your type, and they're like, why you say that? I said, because you like big girls. They're like, what? I said, well, when I lose the weight, you won't like me, because I'm letting them know, like, I don't have any intentions on staying where I'm at.
absolutely.
You like this now, but when you like it when I'm losing, I said, I'm not your type.
And you don't
He
want
like
them sabotaging you. Some men will try to sabotage
and
you.
I had that experience. That's how I had to lose the 80 pounds the first time. My fiance, he was from Sudan, and you know, may he rest in peace, he's passed away, but he used to do things like have me cook and I would feed him, and then he wouldn't eat, and then tell me, and then feed me and want me to eat. He purposely was trying to
fluff you up.
fluff me up, because when he saw me, when we came back together, he was like, Kidist, you lost so much weight. And I didn't realize he was plumping me up. Yeah. And that's what he did.
All right, ladies. Well, official timekeeper that I am, I'm going to have to bring it to a close. Well, we thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
You have to come back. You have to come back.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, I would definitely come back.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we'll plan that out. In the meantime, have a great evening and feel better. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm about to clean these cherries, lay down here, and watch some interior design.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Sounds good. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
All right, Torra. So that was an interesting episode. We had a lot of interesting commentary.
It was a learning lesson for me. I felt like I was in school. I could listen to both of them talk all day.
Wow, that's great. Well, I enjoyed it too. And we have another guest next week.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
So we never announce who it is. So you guys will find out next week. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for kicking it with Kimm and Torra. We want to see you all back next week. Please like, subscribe, and pass this on, and make sure you comment.
Yes, make sure you comment. Thanks again. Have a good night.
Good night.